actually, as I said, is the most important concept that we have. Every client that we work with, we have them hang this up on their wall, share it with their team. It's one of the most important things that you'll learn. Yes, we will go show you some things on how to increase your profits and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't get this, nothing else is going to help. So, you also must be willing to have some fun. So, our brains are actually hardwired to search for reward, and fun is a reward. So, when you were back in school, whether it was you or someone else, when a student finishes early, what's the reward usually?
When you were a
They
student?
get to leave.
No,
Not where I either. Yes. They sit there bored out of their skull, or they're handed another worksheet, right? This is your reward. How does this teach you to want to get done quickly and efficiently? It doesn't. When we get older, we have our goals, and I want to make 2 sales this week. When I hit those 2, most people don't go out and celebrate. They say, oh, okay, what's the next one? Or your sales manager will say, go get another one. Next week, I want 3. Okay? You have to have some fun. You've got to celebrate your wins. You can always raise your goals and expectations, but you have to celebrate so that your brain becomes trained to search for success. And it's important to do that with your employees as well, because you're not the only one who needs to do well and who needs to be rewarded. And you have to get together with them and have some fun as well. Build a team, okay? We'll talk about that more later. Who in here has a teenager? Who in here knows a teenager? Really? Not everyone? Who in here has ever been a teenager? Okay, so... So, when a teenager says those 2 words, I know, what do they mean?
I think I know. I'm pretending to know. I'm
Well,
trying
listen
to
anymore.
convince myself that I know.
Okay, that's being very gracious.
Sorry.
Yeah, mine is, I don't want to listen
Yeah, it
anymore.
really means I know more than you.
Yes,
Well, that too.
I know more than you, shut up, leave me alone, that kind of thing, right? So, those 2 words are the most dangerous in the English language, because as soon as you say that, your brain shuts off. It believes you. Your brain believes that you already know this information, there's nothing left for you to learn. And in life, that's a really bad place to be. So, you have to be open to learning new things. And so replace I know with, isn't that interesting? So it doesn't matter how far-fetched or crazy it sounds. This would actually have been great for the political season if people had just been using this. But I don't know if you can feel it, but when I say I know, I can feel my brain shutting off. And when I say, oh, isn't that interesting? Tell me more. I'm listening. I'm learning. And so I would ask you all.
Reverse. Your brain shut off and then you just said, I know, just to end the thing. You don't.
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. So I would really encourage you to think about the words that you say. There are a lot of words that we use that are negative towards ourselves, and we need to try to stop using them. Most people, if they had someone else talking to them the way that they talk to themselves, there'd be some harsh words. So be very conscious of the words that you choose and the words that you say to yourself and to others. And this is a good place to start. All right? So, what are you watching in your business? I'm going to try this. Hopefully this is going to work. No. Looks like some of the slides got out of order, but that's okay. Oh, seriously?
You just have to hit the layer.
Well, it says PowerPoint has stopped.
Resolves an awareness test. How many passes does the team invite to
Hold on a second. It worked when I put it together earlier. Sorry about this. Feel free to go grab some more food, grab a drink, run to the restroom. This is gonna take me just a minute.
Well, we're bearing a snowstorm.
Yes.
Sitting too long before I got here. Oh, I get it. Decided to turn on another screen. All right. As soon as people are back,
You
we'll
wanna-
take it again.
Blow it up,
I already blew it up once.
full
I'm
screen,
just kidding.
full screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, let's go and look up some music.
This is a perfect time to have some fun.
Yes.
So now when they come in, what are we gonna do?
Let's throw cheese in.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Just announce the final $1,000 winner.
Right, exactly.
oh, there,
Everybody was here.
yeah, there you
The
go.
last person in has to do,
Right.
has to take the awareness test.
There you go. Okay.
Thanks. So what do you do though?
I'm into party decorations, party rentals, event planning.
Oh, very good. Thanks. Mainly down in here, this area here,
Come again?
primarily in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I do it practically almost
it's
everywhere.
to turn on.
I've had a
two
couple of
monitors.
events down in Detroit, in Michigan,
Oh, yeah,
a
okay.
couple of others in Chicago.
I don't have any
Thank you.
more, but, hey, Tom, who are those birch right here? Here.
Thank you.
So, and use light, and heat. Use radiant heat.
Okay. All right.
And the final $1,000 winner is?
Me.
I think Tom picked the last one.
Yeah. So,
Unfortunately, you guys missed out.
all right.
Are you aware?
So, yeah, so the computer decided to open two monitors on me. That's why it suddenly all disappeared. So, we are back to the awareness test. This is really fun, so. Oh, come on.
Well, I have a word for you while we're waiting.
Okay,
It's called well, actually, it's two words, the Zeigarnik effect. And what it means is that we tend to remember things that are incomplete. So when you leave off the end of a sentence, or you have a project that you don't complete, you remember those things. You don't remember the things that you finished. And that's why we all want closure, so we can forget that.
What's it called?
interesting.
The Zeigarnik effect.
All right, if this doesn't work, we'll go on. And you just won't get to see the excitement.
What's that pulled it in?
Yeah.
And it's, the Zeigarnik is listed, it's a gentleman's name who came up with this notion. He's in Wikipedia, and the whole thing is mentioned in Wikipedia.
All right, well, it's not working, I can't explain it.
Okay, then click
Oh,
on funny short
no.
videos.
Oh, my money back. All the way back to the beginning.
Yes, we're gonna start over. Hopefully when we get to it next time, it'll work.
I want to see how women manipulate men.
Come on, you live it
Who does? We had to download it.
Yeah, I was listening to music before when you came in. It was from YouTube.
Here it is.
Okay. Yeah,
What? If it doesn't begin shortly,
let me do one last thing.
blame the operator.
Yeah, exactly. And accept responsibility. Let's
I know.
try.
There's certain times you really need to blame others.
Works for me at home.
It really isn't my fault.
All right. That's enough. Maybe afterwards we'll get it to work, because it is really fun. Hey, and there's Be-Do Have. Okay. And we're going to skip the table topic. Actually, no, let's go ahead and do it real quick. So, at your table, or find a partner, the three of you, the three of you, the two of you, two of you, two of you. Just talk briefly about what you've learned so far. Come up with 3 things that you've learned so far and write it down.
In this or in life? Or
In here,
in
yes.
here?
From the start.
Just like, wow.
And use colored pens.
Wow, you are
And-
big.
I know, right? I'm using my right brain, that's what
Yes.
happened.
About 2 minutes.
Okay.
Good.
What do we bunch of?
I've learned how to spell or.
Fellowship meeting.
Just pictures.
I do my calendar.
I wrote down 90% visitors.
We do a
Failed
lot of
to
it.
do.
I mean, we try
Doesn't change.
No, that's yeah.
like the kid.
But you know, some of them,
We used to like,
I was gonna say, some of them I can teach,
we had a small team.
there's so much out there
To life event, we like,
that if you're busy learning every
Yeah.
years to not.
I used to.
you didn't know.
Humanize.
But we bring
I
everything.
used to go
Good
to
morning.
the major seminar every year.
The world is full of misinformation.
Yeah, get the blood one.
I'm surprised, most accountants are not aware of
That was why
who really are.
my little company was, you know, we got a
Don't know.
we have like a little space man.
Part of the reason why we put it on
It's even more because the kids.
Well, the great thing,
30 seconds.
I'm really
You said we
familiar
started
with
to
this.
do
One of my best friends, I live in California.
So
Paralysis by analysis.
Exactly.
And it's all Never is. And,
This,
I mean, it affected his house, he used to call his house the whole
I have
house, the
one
whole
that's
brain
called,
house, because it had a beam that
Friends.
goes down the middle.
It's actually
He used to
exercise.
get the hands of the beam and
The brain.
it'll function on
You
the
say if you
brain.
sit too long, the brain goes numb. But it's that same thing, that it begins to stop. So it's interesting for students to regenerate using those cross brains. It's also used in business.
All right,
Simple things.
if we can bring it all back
So
together.
I picked up
Just
my,
crossing your hands.
hey, you wanna go to a whole brain house?
That creates your brain to cross. Little kind of awake things.
All right.
Just when you bring those things to
So,
people.
hopefully you had some good learnings and now have a nice little list that you can keep in mind in multiple colors so it sticks in your brain. So, now we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna go into sort of the pure business sorts of stuff now. And so, first question, is your business driving you? Are you this crazy guy pulling his hair out? You can tell that he's not happy. Or are you driving? Huh. Or are you driving your business? I'm not really sure why it's jumping around so much today. Are you this guy down on the dock at the beach, you know, just kind of checking in, looking at his numbers and seeing how things are going back at the office?
What about the middle of the road there?
Yeah.
The,
Like 1 week or 2 weeks a year, you do the beach thing, check in on the guys.
no, some of the time I think like I'm, you know, really in control of things, but then I know that my business is full of saboteurs. And so,
So,
on occasion it seems like the business is driving me.
so there's no doubt that these are the two extremes.
They are the two extremes, yeah.
Yes, and that absolutely implies that there are places along the way, absolutely.
In the middle, okay.
So, Action Coach's definition of successful business.
So the PowerPoint's driving me crazy.
Yeah, so, yeah, just bear with me, I don't know what's going on. So, a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. So the goal, the Action Coach goal is to create a business that runs without you having to be there. And the way to do that is 6 steps to massive results, or to a winning business. And so I'm going to quickly just go through what these are, and then we're going to go back and go through each of them in detail. As soon as Kat gets this written down, we'll go. All right, so the first level is mastery. This is where you eliminate the chaos, bringing clarity out of confusion. This is when you first get started, a lot of times you really don't know what you're doing, and you don't even know that you don't know what you're doing. Things are just crazy. So the first thing is to gain mastery of your business. The next is niche. This is where you develop a predictable cash flow. This is where sales and marketing comes in. Next is leverage. This is all about systems and efficiency. Once you have some money, you start finding the best way to do everything, because it takes some money to implement the systems. And then you get team. You structure your business for growth. You start having other people who are doing the work for you. Synergy. This is where you might install a GM, have them run it, install a president, whatever, and then you can go off and do whatever you want. The results go on your owner's personal growth. To correlate it with the definition, mastery is getting a commercial enterprise. When you're in confusion, when nothing's going right, you just have a mess. Fair enough? Okay, niche. This is where you start becoming profitable. This is where you're making money consistently. Leverage. Once you get the systems in place, the business works. Team, it works without you. Synergy is when you can duplicate it. You might open another branch. You might franchise, whatever it is you want to do. Because you've got a GM running it, you've got systems, you can just take your manual, theoretically, carry it to another location, and build another business there. So the first level, as I said, is mastery. And it's bringing your business out of chaos. And so what's the true cost of chaos? So a lot of chaos is poor financial management, right? It has a lot to do with the money. And it causes business failure or underperformance, causes family breakdown, poor physical health, and poverty. In fact, over a third of entrepreneurs suffer from depression. We have significantly more bankruptcies, not surprisingly, amongst entrepreneurs, and a significantly higher divorce rate. Being an entrepreneur is tough. Owning a business is tough. But it can be worth it, especially if you know what you're doing and you get the help that you need. And so there are 4 areas of mastery. The first we call destination mastery. So as soon as you can tell what I'm drawing, call out the answer, okay?
It's a bird, it's flying, Superman flying over the trees.
It's a boat. Excellent. So,
Well, you were standing in front of it. So
Yeah, I
it's
couldn't
kinda
see.
hard, you know.
I was just.
Okay.
We're blaming others.
We're back to the first slide. Go ahead, Mike, sorry.
yes. So we have a boat. And if you're going out in a boat, and let's say that there's an island out here, and this is paradise, and yeah, that's a palm tree, sorry. And you've got your wonderful little house, and let's say that you've got, some friends and kids and whatnot. So if you were going to go and this place existed, wouldn't you want to know where it was? Wouldn't you want to decide where it was before you started out? A lot of business owners don't even know where they want to go. So when they come to the sea, they jump in their boat and just start, going all over. And, half the time they end up back here when they go bankrupt, go back to the same job. Or, maybe at some point they come close and then eventually they might get there. On the other hand, if you had the destination in place, if you had the right crew on board, if you had all the materials that you needed, if you had a compass or a GPS to help you on it, you could, very much more likely, you probably wouldn't get to go straight there because, the wind comes up, it knocks you off course, but you still know where you want to go, so you correct your course. And then, the waves come up. And so, you might go around a little bit, but you're going to get there much more quickly. The same is true of business. If you have a destination, if you keep that in mind, you're much more likely to reach a positive goal. Okay? If you, for instance, if you say, if you have a solid destination, I want my business to be making $5 million a year, I want to have $2 million a year profit, and at that point, I want to sell it for $5 million. Or maybe at that point, I want to leave, take residuals, and have them send me $200,000 a year. If you know what you want, you can build a business and structure it to do that. If you just kind of say, at some point I want to sell it and get out, or maybe I want them to send me some money, you're never going to actually reach the point that you want. Or, as you can see, you might actually reach it, but it's not going to work very well, right? So that's the point of destination. First thing you have to do is figure out where you want to be. What year do you want your business to end? How big do you want it to be? What products should it have? What revenue and profits should it have? What are you going to do afterwards? You need to know all these things when you're getting started. And so this is one of the people that we worked with, Blaze Displays. Been in business for 10 years and turned around in record profits for 12 months. I now have a clear vision of where I'd like my business to go and my personal life. That's really important. Because when we first talk to a business owner, we talk about what are your personal goals. Because there's no point in having personal goals separate from business goals. Your business should support your personal goals. That is the purpose of having a business, so you can do whatever it is you want to. Yes, some people want to do their business, and okay. Some people want to spend time with their family. Some people want to go to Tahiti. But your business should support your personal goals. The next is money mastery. Budgeting and reporting. This is the key. So the first thing that you need to do is set up a budget. Who in here has a budget? Who in here knows what their budget for profit is? If you don't have it, go back to your budget. You need to budget for profit. Because again, if you want to have $200,000 in profit, but you don't have that number written down in stone, then you're not going to do it. Okay? That's the first thing with budget. Reporting. You need to track your business and figure out how you're doing. And so you do that with reports, executive reports of all sorts of different kinds. They monitor the most important pieces of your business and make sure that you're keeping on track. They give you early warnings when you're going off track. You may have heard, airplanes, when they're flying from point A to point B, are off course 99% of the time. But they catch it quickly and they correct. So that's what your reporting is helping you do. And so the minimum that you need is a break even. This is a very, very oversimplified version, and Greg is going to have a problem with it because it's oversimplified. But hopefully it helps people understand. So this red line right here is fixed costs. This is what you pay whether you make any widgets or not. It's your rent, it's your employees, it's your insurance. So in this example, it's $500,000. We then have variable costs, it's purple. So we have widgets across the bottom. We make up to 25 widgets. And as you make more widgets, you have to spend money, right? You're buying materials, you're shipping, whatever it is you do to make your widgets. This blue line here is your total, the yellow line is the total expenses. So you add fixed costs and variable costs, and you get total costs. Okay? So that's what's going out as you make more widgets. This blue line is income. So you start out making $0, and this green line is profit. So you're making $0, you're spending $500,000, so you're $500,000 in whole. If you price things correctly, once you reach about 14 widgets, you break even. At that point, you start making profit. Okay, so the green line, it crosses the 0 here, and you start making some profit. So again, this is just a really oversimplified explanation for it. Does it make sense to everybody? So obviously we want to get to this. And we'll leave off the rest for time's sake. So time mastery. There we go. So as a business owner, where do you spend your time? Do you spend your time fighting fires? Do you spend your time doing sales and marketing? Do you spend your time trying to, make your employees, bring them back in line or whatever it is? Or do you spend your time on the strategic aspects of your business? As an owner, you've got to spend your time on the strategic aspects. And so this is based on the Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants. We turn it into a bullseye. And so on the outside, we have tasks that are not urgent and not important. Can anyone think of any examples of things that are not urgent and not important in business?
Cleaning your windows.
Cleaning windows. Anybody else? Taking personal phone calls, checking your personal Facebook, talking about the football game from the weekend. Okay, maybe you want to say hi, spend 5 minutes, but it can get excessive. That's not urgent, not important. That is the area of distraction. Urgent and not important. What are some things that are urgent but not important?
Backed up toilet.
Toilet, yes. So this is a zone of delusion. How many people have had a day where you go in and you work and you do stuff, and at the end of the day you say, I didn't get anything done. that means you were probably operating in the zone of delusion, because if you say, I didn't get anything done, probably means you weren't working on anything important. Urgent and important, this is the zone of demand. An example of that, my favorite one, is a customer who's complaining. It is urgent and it's important. You may decide it's not a real complaint, that's fine, but dealing with it is important, because one customer who complains, you've probably had 10 leave already. And especially in this day of social media, very quickly a complaint gets out there. So you need to pay attention. You know, it's the canary in the coal mine. When someone complains, you need to find out what's going on. However, where you as a business owner need to spend as much time as possible is not urgent, but important. What are some things that are not urgent, so they don't need to be completed this week, but they're very important?
5-year business plan,
Business plans. What else?
business continuity plans.
Continuity plans. Maybe.
Bookkeeping?
Being able to find it, that is important. Bookkeeping, it depends on your business. You might want to do that more quickly. Again, then, for simplicity, we're cutting it off in a week. Not urgent, not important. So, what are you all doing now? Learning, education. So, that is something in the zone. It's not urgent. I mean, you could have come, I'm going to do this again in 4 to 6 weeks. I did it 6 weeks ago. Actually, my coach came down and did it. There are other places that you can get education. So being here today precisely, that wasn't as important. But it is extremely important to learn and grow. So, as a business owner, you need to spend as much time as possible down there in the zone. The strategic planning, if you own a barbershop, figuring out what the next thing coming down the road is. If you are making websites, what is the next newest, greatest thing? Because if you don't pay attention to the trends, you're going to be gone, right? Your competitors are going to fly ahead of you, and you're going to lose the customers. And this is just a simple way to help people, because a lot of people have trouble with time management, right? They work and they move from one task to the other, and this is one way to help yourself. We call it the default calendar, and this is one that I designed at one point. And so what you do is you set your times and give them activities. And so you know ahead of time what you're doing. So prepare for the week. On Monday morning, I have an accountability phone call, and I take care of getting my marketing together. That gets my week started. Then later, the yellow ones are my networking. So ABR, that's the one that Greg runs. BNI, H7, Angel and her husband run that. And then the pink here are coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, and then the green are one-on-one sessions. So yeah, I have some time that's not actually marked out, but I know when I'm gonna do a lot of my things. And then the free time, if you want to call it that, is when I can set up other one-on-ones, when I can set up phone calls, whatever it is. So it's a way to structure your day and your week, plan it out ahead of time, so that you don't have downtime. So, a lot of times you get that call last minute, oh, I'm not going to be able to make that coffee meeting. And if you don't know what you have on your plate, and if you haven't thought about it, then you're going to say, oh man, I don't know what to do. So let me go, hey, maybe I can go take a nap, or, go twiddle my thumbs somewhere. This is just one example of a way to gain control of your time. And then delivery mastery. So, the question is, are you delivering consistently? There is some level of quality that's necessary. However, you don't have to have the highest quality all the time. So, you don't have to be a Maserati. You can be a Toyota Camry. Toyota Camry sells a heck of a lot more, right? And they're consistent. They last forever. My Camry has 190,000 miles, and I haven't had any major work done on it. The best burgers in the world, what are those?
Hmm.
Who makes the best burgers in the world?
In-N-Out burgers.
Okay, can we agree it's not McDonald's?
Yes.
Okay. What is the biggest burger company in the world?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. They don't go for the best, highest quality. They go for consistency. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will get the exact same thing. And so delivering consistently is the key. If you ship out materials or product to people and you tell them it'll be there between 3 and 14 days, even if you average 7 days, it would be better, as Sigma 6 or whatever says, if you said it'll be there at 10 days, between 9 and 11, and you hit it every time. Consistency is the key. Then people know what they're going to get. If you go to a 5-star restaurant and you have a really bad meal, you're not going back. You're going to go back to Fridays before you go to that place, right?
Right.
It may be a heck of a lot better, but the consistency wasn't there. All right, so once you have all those pieces in place, you've brought your business out of confusion. You have your destination, you understand how to use your time, you know your numbers, and you have a consistent delivery of your product. Next, you need niche. That's where we start making money. Does that sound good to anybody?
Yeah.
All right, so Action Coach definition is no price competition. Everybody get that? No price competition. How do you do that? Well, the first thing is the unique selling proposition. What is unique about your business that no one else can say? If your answer is we care about our customers, we work really hard, we make sure they're satisfied, that's not unique. Every business, every competitor out there is saying that. You need to find what's unique about your business. Otherwise, you are going to compete on price. I sell widgets, and he sells widgets, and she sells widgets, and they're all the exact same widget. If there's no difference, you can only compete on price. You need to figure out or design what's unique about your business. So if you don't have anything that's unique today, you need to design something new that is unique. You can do that, all right, and a guarantee. So a lot of people tell me, I can't guarantee anything. I'm not allowed to guarantee things. People in the financial industry say that. I can't guarantee an SLA, a service level agreement. Well, there are things that you're required to do, most likely, right? You can start with that. My guarantee is, and things that you will do. If you're not satisfied with the drywall that I hang, I'll fix it for you. Okay, that's the first guarantee. Everybody could say that. Most people won't say it. They won't bring it out. And so by saying it, you do separate yourself. Or, again, just like the USP, Domino's. They came into being and took off like fire with their 30-minute free guarantee. Okay? And you may have heard the FedEx story. 24 hours when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. So they came up with that, then they had to design systems to meet it and to actually accomplish that. So in your business, you've got to think of USP and guarantee. You probably will have to innovate, and you'll have to design systems to do it. But that is how you get out of competing head-to-head against everybody on price.
Even the financial guy can guarantee that she'll return a phone call within 24 hours.
Exactly. Yes, you will get a phone call returned within 2 hours, an email within 4 hours, whatever it is.
Right.
Exactly. And so there's always something that you can guarantee. And the way to do it is ask yourself, in my industry, what annoys my customers? What annoys customers, and how can I fix that? And then guarantee that if you do business with me, you won't have to deal with it. I've got a credit card, and when I call, I get a live person every time. That's their guarantee. No more of this voicemail hell where you have to, keep pushing numbers so that they cannot put you to a person. I mean, I love it. So, all right. So, next thing we're going to talk about is the 5 ways to increase your profits. Most business owners know how many customers they have, what the revenue is, and how much profit they make. Again, that's not really true. Most business owners don't actually know this information. But we'll start with the idea that you got some idea. These are just results, though. These are not the real important numbers to be monitoring. And so we're going to go over the 5 ways, which is basically our marketing chassis, or our profit chassis. And so the secret is that the same chassis is used to build the Ford Contour and the Jaguar X-Type. And if you go look at a lot of different cars, it's made the same way. And it's the exact same chassis no matter whether it's a really fancy business, or it's a mundane business, or it's a small business, or it's a large business. This marketing chassis that we're going to talk about will apply. Okay, so since we're talking about marketing, where on the profit and loss, where does marketing typically go?
Loss.
That's
Expense.
expense, yeah.
Yes. Our philosophy is it should be an investment. And that's because for every dollar out, you should make more than you spent. And the way to do this is to test and measure. So if you are going to run an ad, make 5 ads, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, they're perfect for this. They're designed for it, A/B testing, that kind of stuff. You make a bunch of different ads, you run them all, see which one performs best, take the money away from the poor performers, and pour it into the ones that work. Right? But the important thing is to be measuring it. Okay? Give everything a try and measure which things work, get rid of things that don't work, that aren't making you money, and keep the ones that do make you money. And so this is the 5 ways to increase your profits. First thing, number of leads. This is the number of people who have expressed interest in you. They've called you, they've emailed you, they've visited your website, whatever it is. It's not your target market. So it's not all females 16 to 32. It is the people who have expressed interest in you and reached out to you in some manner. Conversion rate. So of the people who have expressed an interest in you, how many of them actually buy from you? Okay, so 1,000 people walk through your door and some percentage of them actually buy from you. Multiply those and you get your number of customers. Next is number of transactions. So how often do your customers come back? What are you doing to get them to come back to you? Average dollar sale. Each time they come in, how much do they spend on average? And we're going to go through this some more. And what are you doing to increase the amount of money that they spend with you? Whoops. Multiply the number of customers, number of times they buy from you, and how much they spend gives you your revenue. Your profit margin. You have some amount of expenses, you make some amount of money, and some of it is beyond what you spent. That's your profit. So revenue times profit margin gives you profits. And so we're going to put some numbers to it. And this is an example, small business. In this year, this business had 4,000 leads. 4,000 people called them, answered their ads, walked in the front door, visited their website, sent them an email, whatever. And they were able to convert 25%. So 25% of these people converted. I'm sorry, I actually have this for you. So that means that in the end, they had 1,000 customers, right? So 4,000 times 25% is 1,000. These 1,000 people on average came back twice. Some of them came 1 time, some of them came 6 times, whatever, doesn't matter. On average, it's twice. And they spent $100 each time. Some people spent $5, some people spent $100, some people spent $500. So you take the average of all of that, multiply your number of customers times the average number of transactions times the average dollar spend, gives you your revenue. In this example, $200,000. Okay? Profit margin is 25%, just for simplicity, means we have $50,000 profit. Does that make sense to everybody? So what we do with clients is we work on these 5 ways with the goal of increasing profits. We have between 60 and 80 strategies for each of them. And so what we're going to do now, as an example, is we're going to talk about some things that you can do to increase each of these 5. And I'm going to show you what it does for you. So this is our list of options for conversion rate. As you can see, there are a bunch of them. Written guarantee. All right, so this is the first one. So number of leads. This is all about your sales and marketing. So first thing that we do is go through all the marketing pieces. We go through the sales process with people. We map it all out, figure out what's going, what's being done right, what could be improved. We work on improving each of the advertisements, making sure that it attracts their attention, keeps their interest. It has a call to action. I can't tell you how many times I see some sort of an advertisement that doesn't really have a good, strong call to action. And just putting your phone number down there isn't good enough. You need to say, call now, call this week. It's got to be time limited or people aren't going to pay any attention. We are too busy, too inundated with marketing that if you don't have it, very exciting and time limited, people aren't going to pay attention. Strategic alliances, that's what this is all about. So strategic alliance with Greg to do this workshop. He invites his people, I invite my people, and we get more people in the room, right? Networking functions, H7, E-Women. Get out there and meet more people. Sitting behind your desk, you're not going to meet very many people, are you? So, if we implemented all of that, can we agree that we could probably increase our leads by 10%? Can we go with that? Okay. So, conversion rate. This is where your USP and guarantee come into place. So, if you have a guarantee, you may have heard of the know, like, and trust factor. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. If they don't know you yet, one way to overcome that is to give them a guarantee. You reverse the risk. So if you buy my widget and you don't like it, bring it back and I'll give you your money back. You know, I'm less concerned than I would be otherwise. Have added value offers. One of the best. Target better prospects. So if you sell Lexus cars, you don't go target people who make $20,000 a year, right? You go target, I don't know, 100, 200,000 a year. Make sure that you're targeting the right people. Otherwise, you're not going to get people who will convert. Make it easy to buy. Survey your past customers. Find out why people bought and why they didn't buy. And then improve on that, right? Again, we have a whole bunch of other options up here, but with those few things, let's just say we get a 10% increase again. Number of transactions. So how do you get people to come back? What is the best and easiest way to get people to come back that so many people overlook?
Schedule them right there.
Follow up. Schedule them right there. They do that at the hair salon all the time and at the doctor. Ask them to come back. You know, send them an email.